Today's film begins with an 11-year-old girl named Mia, who lived with her family in London, and then moved to South Africa. Mia prepares herself to go to school, and she comes down from the rooftop without using stairs, because she's a character who loves adventures and risks. Her father's name is John, has a ranch to raise lions and trade them with zoos. Her brother's name is Nick, teaches with her at the same school, but Mia is always alone and has no friends. One day John went to get her from school and knew she had a fight with the kids because of the wound he saw in her face. He tried to tell her she had to get used to living in this country, but Mia told him she wanted to go back to her school and friends in London. At night, Nick saw nightmares, so his mother, Alice, went to him and slept beside him, and then told him a story in order for him to calm down and sleep. The next day is New Year's Day. The family was partying, and John brought them a reborn cub, and they gave him the name Charlie. All of whom rejoiced at him because white lions were rare and sold with extravagant money. Only Mia that did not rejoice at the cub, and did not give him any attention. 2 days later, Mia called a colleague in London who told her he was busy and would call her later, and then he closed the line. So Mia got so angry because this person is her only friend she communicates with. After this, Charlie came to comfort her, and Nick was watching them and he was very happy. He offered her to feed him, but she refused, so he took him to feed and take care of him. Charlie always watched Mia and looked at her from afar, and every time he tried to play with her, but she was often mad at him. Nick told her she's lucky Charlie loves her more than everyone. 2 days later when Nick was feeding Charlie, he suddenly fell asleep without feeling, so Charlie went to Mia's room and woke her up. When she woke up she understood he was hungry. She fed him, and then they went out to play with each other. For the first time Mia had been happy since she left London. Charlie was spending most of the time in Mia's room, where he ripped her toys and made a big mess there, and she was very pleased. At night Mia went to her brother's room to read him a story before bedtime. Alice was watching them, and she felt that Mia had actually changed and was gradually returning to normal. She knew that Charlie was the reason for Mia's happiness, so she told her that he would grow up one day and go to his natural place in the zoo. The next day, Mia asked her father John to take her to the zoo to feed the lions, and he agreed. During the road she asked him not to sell Charlie. John told her that Charlie was not a pet, and they could not raise him at home. Mia explained to him that Charlie was different from the rest of the lions, but unfortunately John was not convinced by her speech. Anyway, they spent their time with the animals, and Mia was so happy. After a while Charlie grew up and it became necessary to put him in the cage with the rest of the cubs, because the situation became more dangerous, especially because Mia is going on a trip organized by the school for 2 weeks, and nobody can handle Charlie at home other than her. It's time to go. Mia recommended they take care of Charlie during her absence. On the first night, Mia was watching her photos with Charlie, and she missed him a lot. At the same time Charlie was spending most of his time sad and thinking about Mia. While playing for the cubs, Charlie allowed them to beat him without defending himself, so that the guard told John that Charlie's impression had changed, where he went on hunger strike and refused to shower. Even he's spending his time sitting at the door as if waiting for someone. Now we go back to Mia. She couldn't afford to parting Charlie, and decided to escape the flight and go home. The school officials called Alice and told her that her daughter had escaped the flight. Meanwhile Alice went out with her husband John to look for their daughter Mia, but before they left the house the farm guard came and told them that Mia is there. And indeed, they found her with Charlie feeding him and singing to him. Mia was mad at them for not looking after Charlie as they promised her. The days passed and Charlie completed his year. Mia was cared about everything in his life. The love between them was growing every day. Whenever someone saw them, he was astonished by their strong relationship, as it is difficult to find a human being who understands a lion in this way, and it is even difficult to see such a relationship in a circus. One day Charlie walked into the house and made a big mess. Nobody could get close to him. That's what made them call on Mia to act and get the lion out. 2 days later, Mia was surfing the internet and came across a post about the best animal sanctuary in the area where there was a place for lions. She knew that they treat them with love and respect. Suddenly she heard the noise outside, so she came out speeding to see what happened. Charlie injured a farm visitor because he tried to play with him. Charlie was afraid because there were so many people on the farm. Mia calmed him down, and then brought him into the cage. John was so angry at Mia for letting Charlie out of the cage, but she told him it was unfair to leave him imprisoned the whole time in the cage. The next day, someone called Dark, who buys lions from John and takes them to people who kill them and hunt them for fun. And then Alice saw a wound in Mia's hand. Mia told her it was just simple scratches, and at this time Charlie attacked Mia, making Alice so terrified. She never imagined that Mia's understanding with Charlie could reach this point. She thought Charlie would eat her daughter. Anyway, John told them they were going to have dinner at the restaurant, so Mia went to Charlie to say goodbye, and then she closed the cage door, but the lock didn't close well. Anyway, they went out to dinner, and when they came back they noticed the cage door was open. Mia told her father she would help him look for Charlie, but John refused and told her that Charlie was not a pet, and it was wrong that she trusted him that way. John gathered the guards to look for him, but Mia couldn't stay still. She was also looking for Charlie with her brother Nick. Indeed, Mia found Charlie. The days passed and Charlie completed his 2 years. Nick was watching Mia with Charlie, and he wished he could play play with them, but he was scared. Mia encouraged her brother and told him not to be afraid and ordered him to approach. Alice was watching them and got very angry, and then John lifted his gun for Charlie's anesthetic. That's what made him so scared, so he pushed the door, and he caused Nick to fall on his head and lose consciousness. Alice told Mia that she was the cause of her brother's injury. John also scolded her and warned her that if she went into Charlie's cage again, he would sell it to the first buyer. Then he told her he loved her and he did it because he was afraid for her. Mia was been visiting Charlie and playing with him without opening the cage. She promised him she would one day take him to the animal sanctuary to live there peacefully. After a while, exactly the day Charlie's birthday happened when he completed his 3rd year, Mia walked into the cage and asked her brother to take a picture of them, and she was glad she cuddled Charlie again. Mia then walked into the house and was happy. When John saw her joking with the family, he took her phone and decided to take a group photo of them. But he was shocked when he found the video that Nick made of Mia with the lion. He got very angry and told her he warned her before this time, so he would sell Charlie because of her. Mia was deeply saddened, and at night she went to Charlie and apologized to him. She also told him that she would know where the zoo they would take him to, and promised that she would save him from there. And without feeling, she slept next to the cage. In the morning she woke up to the sound of a car coming to the farm. One of the dealers had come, and John was trying to numb one of the lions in order to sell it to this dealer. Mia hid inside the car in order to know where the zoo was. She was shocked to see that the car didn't go to any zoo. She knew that John sold lions to the rich in order to enjoy killing them by arrows and bullets. She was shocked because her father was lying to them all this time. Mia quickly returned home. She searched in the internet and understood that killing lions for pleasure was not punishable in the place she saw. Mia didn't tell her father John anything, but her actions changed and family members noticed this. Then her brother Nick went to check on her, and she told him about everything she saw. She asked him to help her save Charlie and take him to the animal sanctuary, and he agreed. At night, Mia and her brother made a tight plan to smuggle Charlie. Nick told her if she got a car, she could do the plan in 2 days. And if she doesn't get a car, she'll take longer. Mia prepared herself and put food in her bag for the trip. Nick gave her his money he was collecting from a young age. Mia refused to take the money, but Nick convinced her because she needed them more than him. She walked out of the room and came across with the maid who gave her the keys to the farm and encouraged her to move forward with her dream and save Charlie. Mia thanked the maid and went straight to the farm. She opened all the cages and took out all the lions, and then she took Charlie and went. When Alice woke up the next morning, she opened the door and found a lion sitting in front of the house. Everyone was shocked to find all the lions outside the cages. John checked the CCTV and found out that it was Mia who opened the cages for them, so he called the guards to get the lions back to their places. Then he went out to search Mia and got to a place near them, and indeed John witnessed Charlie. He got out of the car in order to take the gun and anesthetic Charlie, but surprised when he saw his daughter pointed the gun at him. She ordered him to walk away because she needed the car, and then she told him that she knew everything and that he was the main reason for killing lions, because he was selling them to murderers. Then she fired the anesthetic arrow at his leg, and then took the car after Charlie got in, and she went. Mia called her brother Nick and told him about John's whereabouts in order to send someone to take him. After a short while, the car ran out of gas, so Mia had to get into the petrol station, and during that she walked into the supermarket to buy some food. But she was surprised when she saw her pictures on TV and all the channels talking about a runaway girl taking a lion with her. Mia came out right before someone got to know her. She got back in the car and went a long way, making her tired and sleeping while the car was going. Luckily Charlie woke her up and she told him she was still young and that this was a big responsibility for her. Anyway, Mia parked in order to rest and sleep a little. Mia woke up the next day to complete the trip. At the same time the merchant Dark went to John and told him he wanted the white lion he paid for. John told him he cancelled the deal, but he didn't listen and told him he would find him in his own way. John tensed and warned Dark not to hurt his daughter, and then let him go. After this, John went out with his family to search Mia. They knew the police ordered the lion to be shot where they found him. Mia kept driving with the map that she made it with her brother Nick, but suddenly she found the road blocked by a building. She took a look at the map, and I found it painted since 1997, so she threw it angrily. It became necessary for Mia to overtake the building on foot. She entered the gate of the building that was a commercial market with her lion Charlie in order to get to the back of the building and get out of there. But unfortunately someone called the police and told them that the girl on the run with lion was in the commercial market, so they headed there immediately. Mia made it out and completed her way and was so glad she first watched Charlie catch his prey himself. At this time the dealer Dark was looking for them and found Charlie's footprints. He understood that he was close to them and would inevitably find them. During nightfall, Mia went up to sleep on a tree while Charlie left her and went to explore the place and then returned to her in the morning. He woke her up to complete their trip. Unfortunately, the dealer Dark found them. Charlie saw the dealer hit Mia, so he attacked him viciously. That's why the dealer screamed so hard. John heard the sound because he was nearby, so he got into the car and went directly where they were. Mia took Charlie Charlie and ran fast. At this time, John arrived at their place and hit the merchant because he had already warned him. He scolded him and then fired him and told him he wouldn't work with him again. Nick told them Mia was on her way to the reservation to save Charlie. We move now to Mia. She was feeling very tired, and on top of all this, she had no food and no water left, but she didn't give up and completed the road until she got to the reservation. She was so happy but so tired she told Charlie he had to cross the bridge alone and then he would be safe. She said goodbye to him, and Charlie looked at her like he thanked her, and then completed his way. Meanwhile, John and the police arrived in addition to a helicopter. Mia told Charlie to run fast so nothing could happen to him. At this time, John saw the police preparing to shoot, so he went to Charlie and protected him until he crossed safely. When Charlie arrived at the reservation, the policemen lowered their weapons, and they all watched how the workers of the animal sanctuary welcomed the lion Charlie with love and respect. After a while, Mia went to check on Charlie from afar. Charlie has a family and kids. It was true that Mia missed him so much, but at the same time she was glad he had the life he deserved. And here I have completed today's episode. If you like the clip, you can see more if you want. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.